Yo, what's up guys, welcome back to my channel. So today we have a different kind of video. I know I say that all the time, but it really is kind of like a different kind of video. So I asked on Reddit, the NBA 2K subreddit, basically any issues, like glitches, big things you hate about the game, just generally things like that. Just things you think could be improved in this game mode. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take those into account, as well as what we're going to do is we're going to go through each of these tabs, so home, single player, multiplayer, and basically say things we like, things we dislike. So I think criticism is a good thing. I think it's a healthy thing if you take on criticism. 2K don't seem to do that. they just don't seem to do it. So if we're looking in the home tab, first of all, right? So like this splash screen or whatever, it's all fine. This MyTeam community hub, that's all fine. These triple threat like multipliers, I actually really like. How you get ×2 tokens, you get an extra MT bonus for each win, like in triple threat. I think the time period should be a little bit longer. So 1 p.m. to 3 p.m., 8 p.m. to 10 p.m., and who's up at 2 a.m. to 4 a.m.? Like, I am, but I'm a freak. So that's the only reason why I'm up. In terms of the actual agenda, these could be improved massively. So the only thing I don't like about these is the rewards. Why would I go out and spend, like, I'm not sure how much they are, but they're at least 2K each on Lakers heat check players. And I believe the heat check players are cards that update as the game, as players in real life do better. So imagine the league was still going on, and you know you had to go and get some Lakers players, and obviously the Lakers are flying at the moment, so their prices are probably sky high. In that case, why would I go out and spend probably 8K to do an unlimited game, which is online, to get 400 MT? I get that they're daily, but I think they should be not more achievable, but I wouldn't say easier either. It's more of, I think, more rewarding. Just because this daily tab is pretty much useless. I don't think I've ever seen anyone actually go for these. Same with the weekly ones. These are kind of like win an unlimited game, but 20 points using $5 players. Like, you probably have $5 players in your account. Like, you probably do. But winning a game by 20 points, like, I get that it's, you know, if you get matched up well, you can very easily. I mean, easily, I'd say. I won't say very easily, because you still have to be, you know, decent at the game. But in the whole of, just why would I put myself through that stress? Like, this one's heat check players, and you get, what, an extra 250 MT just because they're heat check? It's the monthly ones, these are just atrocious. Like, perform 5 card evolutions for a pack. This one I actually don't mind. It's not too difficult, and it doesn't take too long. Like, this could probably be a weekly target. Like, it's really not that difficult. But 30 games of domination for a blue marble ball? Like, why would I do that? Like, honestly, why would I do that? Win 20 games of domination for 5,000 MT? There is no incentive to do these. Like, you don't get an extra card, you don't get, you know, a card you can sell, you don't get a beefy MT bonus. Like, see, you've done I haven't done domination because I started the game life cycle really late, and the cards you can just buy off the auction house are better than the ones you can get in domination. Just why would I do these? Like, there's no incentive to do these. Even if you've done domination, why would you go play an extra 20 games? It's just a waste of time. And these lifetime ones are just even more atrocious. Like, they're so bad. Why would I purchase all 20 of the Ruby players for a Ruby ball? And we'll get onto the token reward board in a bit. It's just, these are pointless. These are so stupid. I get it's an extra card if you're going for AD, but your average player is not going for AD. I think 1% of people, probably even less than that, is getting that Anthony Davis. Like, purchase 3 Galaxy Opal cards from the reward. This I actually don't mind. This one is a beefy target for a beefy reward. Obviously, 150k, that's still a decent amount of MT that you can put towards a player. So, this one is pathetic. Drop 500 balls in triple threat. You've seen how much... So, if I just go into my collection... Where is it? So I mainly play with Eddie Curry in Triple Threat. Like, any team I'm using, Eddie Curry is normally in there. I've played nearly 200 games. So, if you put that into perspective, 6 minutes average is, a game of Triple Threat. It's normally about 6 minutes, depending on how fast you are. So, that's 10 per hour. And then if we're working that out, no, that's 6 per hour. Where did I get 10 from? And then if you're just working that, that's over 30 hours, roughly? Am I doing that right? That's roughly over 30 hours for 5,000 MT. I get it's a overtime thing. Like, you're not meant to get this within a week. But 5,000 MT is pathetic. You can get 5,000 MT, basically, by getting lucky on the Triple Threat board and just playing a few games. Like, say you've played over 330 hours of games, which I'm not sure how many games that is. It's over... quick math. Well, at least over 200 games based off of what my Eddie Curry is. Like, 200 games for 5... let's just say 300 games, roughly, to get 500 ball drops. That's if... I would say if you're an above average player, I think that's about right. Because obviously, if you lose the first 4 games, or the first 3 games, you don't get any ball drops, and there's an extra 3 games that's, added onto the player that you don't get. It's just pathetic. Like, these are actually bad. Like, I don't know why these are lifetime. These could easily be, weeklies. Now on to the single player actual aspect of the game. This I actually don't have an issue with. I like freestyle, to work with your players. This Triple Threat I like. I barely play it offline, but I still do like it. These challenges, these weekly challenges, no issue with these whatsoever. We've been asking 2K. I remember in 2K15, which was my first 2K, that MyTeam mode was, oh my god, it was so bad compared to what it is now. That's what I mean. So 2K does make improvements in this mode. I'm not gonna, I'm not gonna be unrealistic and say they don't, because they do. If you played 2K15, you know how bad it was. So that's mainly it for the single player. Not really much improvement needed here. Like, domination is a bit stale. Like, they could probably add another one. I will say that obviously I haven't played domination, because why would I play 33 games to get an amethyst, then play another 33 games to get a diamond, when I can go on the auction house and pick up a diamond that's probably better for around 5,000 MT. I get domination was for, like, if you want to grind it at the start to have an amazing player, but if you start the game late, it's kind of pointless to do. So that's really that. All right, now we're into the fun bit. So MyTeam Unlimited, I think this could be improved so much, like so much. So the whole thing of the whole the lineup glitch and everything, the fact 2K hasn't come out and said anything about it, and the glitch has been in the game for over a month, is disgusting. It's a game. This game mode requires you to go 12-0. That's over 6 hours of gameplay of, being a very decent player at the game. Not to mention, you could get screwed so bad with the matchmaking. Just how bad the matchmaking can be in this game. I played with a Sapphire team. I got matched up against Opals. Like, how does that work? Like, how is that a thing that can happen? Also, these awards, I actually don't mind these awards. I think they could be a little bit better. Like, one pack, like one semi-decent pack. It's not even semi-decent, it's quite garbage, actually. 2,500 MT and 12 tokens for 8 wins. That's over 4 hours of gameplay that I could go spend 4 hours in Triple Threat and basically get double, triple that. Like, these awards need to be better. I get if you're, better at the game, you get better awards. But even 10 wins... like, you can get that Karolinko pack very easily in a drop on Triple Threat. So, I think this game mode needs to be desperately needs improving. The whole completion award thing, I kind of like. Kind of. It's a lot to be that good at the game just for one Opal player. I get it that you're good at the game, you deserve to be awarded. But it's not... this game mode isn't good for your casual / get it on a couple times a week player. And in terms of the awards, you should be able to sell these. You should be able to sell this Glenn Rice. You should be able to sell that Dr. J when you get it. You should be able to sell Pink Diamond Clyde, Pink Diamond Dirk. You should be able to sell them. I don't know why 2K doesn't let you sell the reward cards. It's so, like, behind everything that people have done, like, from other, like, MyTeam, Ultimate Team game modes. It's so bad compared to other game modes. So, we're just going to get on to Triple Threat. I think Triple Threat is the best thing in this game. I really do. I think they're quick games. You don't get tilted. Like, say you lose a game, you're only 6 minutes in. Whereas if you get blown out in 2 quarters in this, you're kind of stuck there. This is just 6 minutes of 3-on-3. They're very easy. They're very easy to, pick up and play, get a few hundred MT and get a few ball drops, and potentially get something decent. So I think this is the best thing in this game mode. These multiplayer challenges, these are garbage. Like, I don't know why they're not updated more frequently. Like, maybe they are, and maybe people just don't realize. But these are garbage. Like, they're so bad. Like, I don't mind this no restrictions for 6 tokens. That's not too bad. But 6 award cards for 2,500 MT. Like, you're not gonna... It's the whole thing of... You don't need 2,500 MT if you have 6 award players. Realistically. Like, you don't need it. Like, I'm not gonna do this for 2,500 MT when I can just sit in the menus and probably earn that just work in the auction house. There's just no need. Alright, now we're into the fun part. This is probably the fun part of the video. So this whole pack thing. This whole VC only box thing needs to go. It needs to go. I get that the whole thing why they're doing it is because the auction house at the moment is so broken of MT sites just spiking the players so you buy MT, and 2K is trying to counteract that by, obviously, you want to waste VC to get it. But that's what I don't get. Why can't you incentivize using MT so then those sites potentially, not really, but it's still that incentivized to do it. I don't get why they don't allow you to open boxes with MT. Obviously you can buy singles, but 17,000 for a guaranteed takeover player when you're most likely just going to get an amethyst. It's quite ridiculous. Now onto the pack odds. Yeah, you knew that was coming. So the pack odds in this game are disgusting. They're so bad. Still at the moment, if you ignore the whole guaranteed whatever, it's still 2% to get an amethyst player or a diamond player when they're so behind the curve of just the... I don't want to say the meta, but they're so behind everything else in the game to still get a 2 to 5% chance of getting a diamond player when you can just go on the market, spend 20, 30k, maybe. Like, say you spend this, say you want to open packs. You spend 30,000 on 3 of these packs. You can go get 30,000 MT and get an amazing player to add to your lineup. I don't get the whole, they don't adjust the pack odds. Say, for example, an amethyst is then a 50% chance, and a diamond is 25. Pink diamond is 10, and then the opals are 5%. It's still disgusting. Like, how expensive these packs are insane. So if you went to buy VC, right, just to buy one of those packs, it's going to cost £4 a pack. £4 a pack. That's $5 roughly for one pack. Just thinking about it, it's just insane. It's just stupid. I want to the these are yeah. So why 2K haven't updated this yet is very baffling. I get why they haven't done it, because why would they? Why would they be a competent company and listen to people? So I started playing this game 3 weeks ago, and I have 600k MT. I have, I'll admit I did open some packs with these tokens just because I didn't really realize that they're actually useful, and then they added obviously the evolution versions of the opals. So then I was like, probably shouldn't have done that. But in terms of why they haven't done this, like updated this board. You have to think, people started playing this game in September. And like, I've been doing this for 3 weeks and I'm on the Amethyst board. I could probably, if I grinded this game a little harder than I already do, I could probably get up to the Pink Diamond one if I properly put my time in, realistically. But even still, I'm not incentivized to do this just because I can go, instead of spending 60 tokens on a diamond, I can go spend 5k on a regular diamond. And again, I get the whole thing of the market evolves over the game, and the better players become cheaper just because there's more better players that you can go buy. It's just how every one of these game mode works. But in terms of why they haven't updated this, it's quite pitiful that they haven't, and very, very lazy on 2K's part. Onto the auction house. Let's just go into the auction house. So, this whole list a card for 4 hours nonsense, it needs to go. It's so behind everything. Why do you have to list a card for 4 hours? There should be an option for 4 hours, but there's also should be an option for 1 hour. I don't get why. Imagine you pack an opal, right? And you list, you're the first person to pack an opal. You list it for 100k, whatever. Now, normally this works and you get... Actually, we'll use a buy now card. One that has a buy now. Because opals the first cards tend to go for stupid money. Let's use a buy now card. Say you get a Pink Diamond, I don't know, whatever. And you list them up for 90k. And then three players later, you get undercut. Or, 2 minutes later, you get undercut by 3 players. You then have to wait that 4 hours while people just keep undercutting you, consistently undercutting you at that 90k. You have to wait 4 hours, and then you're potentially going to make 50k, 40k. It's just going to keep going down because it's 4 hours. Why is it 4 hours? Why isn't it 1 hour? It's so behind the curve in everything. I don't get why it's still 4 hours. It's been 4 hours since at least 2K15, and they still haven't changed it. And I don't know why. I really don't know why. Another thing. Is there really no GOAT Jordans on the market? Oh, there we go. Why can you not set your buy now over 100k? I really don't get that whole reason for it. Why is it when an opal comes out, I have to wait 4 hours to even go buy the card? Why can't I just go buy it now? Why is it after 100k, it's just, random lottery, random luck? Especially when the whole auction house glitch happened, where cards that are worth 600k were going for like 200k. The whole buy now after 100k would have easily fixed that. I'm pretty sure they did have a buy now over 100k. I get it's the whole thing of to stop MT sites, but even still it doesn't work because you're just stopping people getting their MT just a little bit slower. Like say you buy 200k, you just have to wait 4 hours to get that 200k. So I don't get it. I don't get why there's still not a buy now option in the game. It did after 100k. It just doesn't make sense. Every single other one of these games have that buy now option after 100k. Alright, now in terms of this, I think your auctions should be increased above 50. I think it should be 100. Just a personal thing. I just think it should be 100. Also, this whole you can only see your 50 of your recent auctions. Why is that a thing? Like I don't get why that's a thing, but there we go. It's a thing. Alright, now we're into probably the big beefy part of this. So, collector levels. So, these I don't mind too much. In terms of the high-end ones, I think you should be able to sell them. Like, say you potentially grind to get up to these types of cards. I think you still should be able to sell them. It's just especially like when you get to, say you are a late bloomer and you now get this Isaiah Thomas. Like this Isaiah Thomas just does not go in my lineup whatsoever. Actually, he's an evolution. So say this Eddie Jones, for example. There's no way on God's planet Earth is he getting in my lineup currently. And again, I get it's the whole power curve of cards just consistently getting better. But it's still... I think you still should be able to sell these. Because say I get 1,000 cards now. I'm not going to use him. And he's just going to sit in my collection, doing nothing. So I still think you should be able to sell these. Card evolutions, this is one of the best things in the game. However, these types of, evolution requirements need to disappear. I get you can grind to get better stuff. Like, so this Eric, for example, I think this is perfectly fine. 50 blocks, 50 steals, that can go to hell. But in terms of everything else, I think it's perfectly fine. Like, maybe lower the blocks and steals, because even 50 is a bit ridiculous. Like, I've played with this Kristaps for... I can't see, I'll probably show it later. And I've played with him a lot, and I've only just reached 50 blocks. So, it's a thing. And why am I stuttering? So, I in terms of this whole evolution thing, I think it's also one of the best things 2K has done. Just the more you use a card, the better the card is. It's something that people have asked for years, literal years. And I'm finally happy that it's in the game. And it incentivizes you to use a lot more cards. Like, I'm probably never going to use this Larry Sanders, but if he's a Pink Diamond, I might use him. So, we'll just see. And even with this Michael Ray Richardson as well. I bought him on accident because I thought his thing was going to be a lot easier. 253 pointers. I'm just not going to do that. So, yeah, guys, let's just go on to the collection aspect. So, in terms of I'll just show you my Kristaps stats, how many games I played with him. 85 games, 64 blocks, 64 steals, 50 blocks. It's not terrible, I guess. But anyway, in terms of, it's a whole thing of, I think it works with some, and I think it works with doesn't. Like, these whole reward cards, I don't think you should sell. I don't think you should be able to sell these just because everyone then would have Kobe Bryant, and it's not then a grind. Say, like, you spend 2 hours, get this Derrick Rose and list him. I think that kind of defeats the old purpose of that whole Kobe Bryant grind. But in terms of, like, this Jordan, for example, why are you releasing locker codes for this type of Michael Jordan after you've released a Galaxy Opal? Like, no one is going to use this card. It's the same with this Ron Harper. They've added players from The Last Dance into the game. I've got this guy like 4 times on the triple threat board. Why can't I sell him? I can only discard him for 1,000. I'm never going to use him. So why can I get him out of... I'm not going for that Anthony Davis. Not everyone goes for those types of cards. So why can't I sell him? It's the same with a few of these. Like, again, he's a grind card, so it's not really an issue. Same with this Rick Fox. Actually, I'll probably use him, but either way. This guy, yeah. So in terms of just reward cards, I think you should be able to sell him. Just because reward cards that you can get off the board, I think you should be able to sell. If you have to grind for a certain card to get a better card, like, I think there should be limits on which reward cards you can sell. Like, if you want to, say you get a reward card off a board, I think you should be able to sell it. If you have to get loads of different cards to then get that Kobe, for example, I don't think you should be able to sell those. Just because they could potentially grind, I don't know, 10 other players, and then decide, you know what, this isn't for me, and then list all the cards. I don't think you should be able to do that, personally. But this Jordan that I get out of a locker code, I think you should be able to sell that. Like, I got him out of a locker code. I also got a diamond shoe out of another locker code. I can sell that. That gets me on to my next point. The whole contract situation in this game. Now, when I asked this on Reddit, it was actually a big thing. People were mentioning contracts quite a lot. I don't think these contracts are inherently bad. I don't think they're a bad thing in this game. The thing I do think is bad is the amount of games that you get. So I'll look at FIFA again. Their regular gold contracts, or maybe they're rare ones, I can't remember. It's been a while since I played FIFA. But a rare gold contract gets you 28 games. And it's cheaper than the it's 200 coins, we'll call them. It's cheaper than this 5 game that costs like 400 MT on a regular auction house day. Obviously, packs being opened, you can get them for 250 quite easily. I don't get why it's still 5. It's been like a gold contract gets a player 5 games for at least 2K15. Because I remember everyone complaining about it then. These diamond contracts, I think, are okay. Like, if they're gonna keep these contracts, I don't have an issue whatsoever with these diamond contracts. And don't ask why I have 9. I can't explain why I have 9. But yeah, guys, in terms of the contracts, I don't have an issue with them being in the game. I have an issue with how many games that it gives you. Say you don't open packs, the amount of MT you potentially have to spend on getting these contracts is insane. Like, if you have an Opal, I can't remember how much it is, but it's ridiculous to get 5 games without a contract for an Opal. It's quite ludicrous, actually. But in terms of that whole thing, like, I don't really have an issue, really, with these collection rewards. Again, with these premium ones. Say this Dwayne Wade, for example. Nope, not a Dwayne Wade. Where's one you can get a player? So this J.R. Smith. Obviously, once you lock in everything, you get a J.R. Smith. Say then that J.R. Smith becomes behind the curve, like other cards come out and get better. I think these reward cards you should be able to sell. Like, imagine this Ray Allen on the auction house. Like, I'd love to use that Ray Allen, but I'm not spending... Oh, Tim Duncan's actually come. Which one of these was actually worth a lot? Huh, I might have to look at that Ray Allen stats. Because his card looks out. I might have to look it up. Anyway, in terms of I think you should be able to sell these. Like, this Ray Allen will be on the market. Like, no one's going to do this. If you have this Trae Young, you're not using it. Like, you have no incentivized to use it. These tokens, you know what? Fair enough. But these actual... I cannot find another one. But yeah, this JR, for example... Say you did this at the start of the game. I can't remember when these multi-dimensional packs came out. You now have no use of this J.R. Smith, because there's just so many better cards in the game for... Like, you could literally go get a Dwayne Wade, and he's better than this card. Like that Diamond Dwayne Wade from the Takeover packs. So, I think you still should be able to sell these once you're done with the card. It's the whole argument of locking in collections and why you shouldn't do it. And this is the reason why. You probably, when these cards were out, invested, what, 100, 200k? Like, I imagine this Jordan was quite a bit. These cards are actually quite cheap, which is quite funny. But you've invested probably 100, 200k. I remember when this Dwayne Wade one came out. This Melo was going for like 80k, I think? 80 to 100k? And I packed this Tim Duncan, and for some reason now this has... Oh. I sold this card for 50k. I'll have you know. I think everyone then caught on. So, yeah, I think you should be able to sell these reward cards once you've have no use for them. So, in terms of that, I think we're about done. Yeah, I don't think there's really much else to chat about in terms of 2K. Again, with these locker codes, I don't get the whole thing of 2K releasing packs that have opals and pink diamonds and stuff, and then they release a locker code that gives you a chance, not even just the player, it gives you a chance to get an amethyst card. I don't get that. I really don't get that. That's just silly, and I still don't understand it. But yeah, guys, that's it for the video. If you have enjoyed me ranting a little bit about 2K for a bit, it was a bit fun. I haven't ranted about 2K in quite a long time, so it was fun to get back into the swing of things. If you have enjoyed this video, please like the video and subscribe if you're new. See you guys all later. Take care, and peace.